Good morning, you guys. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to write this stuff in here. Good morning. Hopefully it'll let me pin it because sometimes it won't. Good morning, y'all. I don't know why I didn't bring my stand up here. Good morning, you guys. How are you? Hey. So, welcome. Good morning. My name is Tracie Collins. I am the CEO and the founder of the NBDA. Welcome. Hi. Hey. So I want to make sure that I cover everything that I set out to cover today. Grand Rising. Good morning. Hi. Hey, E. I miss you, E. So anyway, stay focused. Focus, Tracie, focus. I swear I have the attention span of a gnat. So when y'all see me like digress, just say focus, Tracie, focus. Like just type it. If you have any questions throughout the time that we're here, make sure you just put them in the question box because I want to make sure that I get to them and that your question gets answered. So I don't want to miss anything. But today I decided to talk about mindset. And the reason for that is because what I'm doing is it's not necessarily a series, but I am teaching a masterclass on this on March 5th. So I wanted to give you guys, thank you, Roz. Focus, Tracie, focus. I wanted to give you guys just a preliminary of a taste of what that is going to be. And the reason why this has come about is because every so often I meet with, I think bi-quarterly, I meet with our mentors. So that means like, I'm not bi-quarterly, bi-annually. I meet with our mentors. So that's like every 6 months I meet with the mentors of the NBDA to get a consensus of what it is that they're facing, how we can do anything to make the process as seamless as people go through trainings. What can we do on our end to strengthen the mentees that are coming in? So once they've completed their NBDA trainings, they're ready to go forward. And then, of course, I think I meet with not our mentors, but the NBDA instructors once a quarter. So like every 3 months. Same thing. It's just like that's their time to say, hey, this is what we're seeing. This is what we're facing. This is what, can be done, can be better. What we can do to always strengthen, grow. And, collective heads is always better than one. And it's always good for me to get to hear from them. So the end of last year, when we had our mentors meeting, I think we met in November of last year, it was really about I don't want to say frustration, but they were highly concerned about thank you. Oh, how do you guys even do that? The buy the badge thing. I swear I don't even be putting that up there. Anyway, I digress. Thank you so much. They're concerned about people who were coming through and the lack of preparedness that they had as far as moving into mentorship. And then their concern is like, how are these people going to be ready to go into the field of birth? And so I know when people come into the field of birth, let me give you for people who are meeting me for the very first time, I've been in this field for 20, what year are we in? 2022, 22 years. And I've been here for a long time. And so I launched the NBDA in 2017. And it is now the number one like BIPOC training company in the world. And so I'm so grateful because that is all due to you guys. It really, really is. But in doing so, it requires a level of step upness we didn't get the same grace that other companies or organizations get because number one, we're Black. Number two, it really wasn't nothing like the NBDA until the NBDA came along. And then also Black people put more pressure on Black people. Point, period, blank. We do, unfortunately. And it doesn't feel good. So we didn't get the same grace to grow. It was more so like, oh, now you're here. Let's see what you're about. Let me just put your head, to the metal and let's test you guys out. Fortunately, I'm no dummy and, business is my strength. But with that being said, it takes a collective effort. And so everybody that comes through the NBDA from a training standpoint, we want to make sure that you're not enamored with birth, okay? Because birth is a life and death field. What does that mean? It means that every birth doesn't always end up in life. And there are some systems and processes and procedures that take place in the physiology of birth that if you are not smart enough to identify, skilled enough to identify, then you can lose somebody along the way. With that being said, there's a parallel that needs to happen. And there's the business side that a lot of people aren't getting. They're like, oh, I just want to be in the birth space. Number one, it's when you're invited into that space, it's sacred. So it's an honor to be invited into that space because life, death, maybe weddings, those are like monumental transitions in people's life that that don't happen often. So when you have been invited into that space, you are that is a privilege. So with that being said, there's this other underlying hidden parallel that you have to be great at, and what helps you be great at it is business, and that is what makes you be a standout, stellar pillar in your community, in your field. And so that is what we're focusing on too with the NBDA. It's not just, oh, we're just going to give you the physiology. We're going to give you the what's going on in, labor, delivery, postpartum, fertility, sex, all of that. No, it's also about how do you get to a level to where you are reverenced in your field, to where you are the go-to, where you are the community leader, where you are the spearhead, where you are, do y'all understand where I'm going with this? So with that being said, that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And I have taught a lot of trainings and I've sat in on a lot of trainings. And the number one thing, you guys, that separates us from everybody else is mindset. Since Plymouth Rock landed on us, I don't ever make that a secret. We've been taught to operate at a disadvantage, and from a lack mindset. Okay. And when you are going into business for yourself, you have to begin to transition how you think, because if you don't, you will fail. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I want to begin to change your mindset around business. So that way you can be successful in your field of birth. I hope this is making sense, and why also it's important to not only gain a skill set and knowledge around it, but also, you guys, the importance of diversification in this field. Gone are the days, and I said this last week when I did a live, gone are the days of when your mama and them was growing up and you were able to, or they were able to have one job and just take care of the family for the rest of their life. No, we live in a world where it's important, not only important, but imperative to have diversification of skill set, diversification of income, diversification of streams of revenue. Okay. And how do you do that? So you do that by setting up systems in place, but you have to know how to create them and then operate them, and then you manage them. And if it's not working, how to get rid of it, how to pivot. And we saw that with COVID, a lot of companies failed because they were not used to or didn't have the capabilities to transition to operating online. You have to be able, if you want to stay relevant, if you want to grow, how are times changing? How can you still be irrelevant as times continue to move forward? So that's kind of where I'm going with this today. So make sure, like I said, if you guys have any questions, like drop them in the question box. So I'm going to see what I wrote so I can make sure that I'm staying on track, because, I'll get caught up in other stuff and I don't want to do that. And I want to stay focused. Okay. So with the NBDA, one of the things that we do is we make sure that we continue to tell the truth. We are not going to sugarcoat shit. We ain't gonna make y'all feel good with, Like, oh, make it palatable. No, we're going to tell you the truth. What does that mean? We have to tell you the history so you know what you're facing, so you know where you're going. And telling you the history when it comes to the world of obstetrics and gynecology as it pertains to Western medicine, then when you get into spaces and places of big business like hospitals, you can easily identify systems that are in place that have held us back. And so if you aren't familiar with where we've come from, you ain't gonna know where we're going. You just simply aren't. So all of our trainings are steeped in that. They start out with that and they're based on that, but we have to layer it. We have to know, how do we layer this with information, proper data, all of that, and then move you forward into implementing the business infrastructure. One of the things, you guys, is that we have to unlearn, and a lot of people don't want to unlearn. Folks be stuck. They be like, well, this ain't true, because it conflicts with everything that you've been told, sold, or have grown up with. And in order to shift your mindset when it comes to business, you got to unlearn everything. You have to unlearn everything. And then you have to be open enough and ready enough and willing enough to sit with information and to sit with what you're learning, and to, if you are willing to elevate as you are educating, you have to be willing enough to shed all of that shit and grow and implement. And that is one of the major things, is that we don't want to let go. We don't want to let go. And we don't want to be called out of, this is wrong, or this is how we do things. It really troubled me when some of the mentors mentioned, like, we have people who don't even understand how to, like, write a check, or like, I know people don't really write checks anymore, but it's just like, how do you write a check? You know what I'm saying? Or they want to be spoon-fed information. In the world of business, ain't nobody gonna spoon-feed you shit. If you are not resourceful, you will fail. Point, period, blank. No one is going to spoon feed you. No one is going to give you the answer, especially if you look like me. If you Black and a woman, they ain't going to give you shit. You have to earn it. But in doing so, and I love how my daughter put it, when you earn it, when you become resourceful, when you do your due diligence, then guess what? Your retention rate of that information, no one can take that away from you. Versus if somebody gives it to you, there's no value in that. Because you didn't earn it. So why would you keep it? Why would you retain that information and knowledge? So people get frustrated with, like, why am I having to do? This is why you have to do. You have to do your due diligence, so that way you can retain the information, so you can grow. And people are not and it's so frustrating, y'all. And I cannot get on live and continue to say the same thing over and over and over, and y'all not implementing it. It's like, are y'all serious? We can only do so much. Hey, Janae, like, we can only do so much. And I know there's a lot of information, and I know there are a lot of people out there who are, I'm just speaking specifically to the birth world, who are saying a lot of stuff, or doing a lot of stuff, or implementing certain systems and processes and trainings and thus and so forth. You have the right to consume whatever information or education platform that you choose to. However, I can only speak to what happens over here. It's like, this is the level of excellence that we require. And a lot of people don't like being pushed, y'all. They don't like being pushed. They don't like being tested. They don't like being pushed to excellence. And they don't look at it that way. They look at it like it's something against them personally. What it is like, no, what we're trying to do is we are trying to prepare you for what you have to face going forward. And y'all don't know what it's like. And so everybody that you come into contact with from an instructor standpoint has been in the race a minimum of 5 years. But then when you start getting into real senior people who are, I know within the NBDA specifically, who are going to test you to that level, they've been in it 10 plus years. For me, mine is now 2+ decades. And it isn't by happenstance. It's really my business acumen that has allowed me to grow. Okay. But the difference of of time and things that have changed is social media, is how business is done, but the fundamentals always remain the same. I hope this is making sense. Good morning. Good morning. And you're going to fail. You are going to, and it's not even fail. You're going to fall. You're going to learn your lesson, hopefully apply it, and then move forward and grow. And that's what begins to separate the good from the great. Okay. If you ain't applying lessons, fuck what you say about, oh, this is how, we did it back in the day, or it was done back in the day, or this is how such and such, or this is what, they don't give a shit about that. All they see is like, you ain't about nothing because you keep falling or you fail. You're not consistent. The one thing that people pay attention to is consistency. Even if you make mistakes, are you consistent with correction? Are you consistent with growth? Are you consistent with development and acknowledgement? Oh, I messed up over here, but let me correct it. That's what people pay attention to. And then that, my dear, is what allows people to relate to you. And then they're believe in you. And then they're patronize you. And then, oh, let me align myself with them, because people love aligning themselves with excellence. They do. Okay. So these are just the key. Let me see. Patience, grace, and understanding. We have to be patient with ourselves. We have to extend grace to ourselves, and we also have to allow for understanding. And when you are in the process of unlearning and then beginning to relearn, and there are a lot of people in this field who have been burned by each other. So let me say that. And there are a lot of people in this field who burn. And what we also have to best identify, hurt people. So in doing that, this is where the patience and grace comes in, and understanding. This is where I don't have to move like they move just because. How do it's kind of like the whole Michelle Obama thing, when they go low or we go high. Some folks be like, no, I'm gonna go down to the basement. I get that. I get that on a petty level. But how far is that gonna take you? On a consistent basis. Sometimes shit will come across my desk and it will be like folks are trying to do the same thing the NBDA is trying to do. And it will cost me more in legal fees to fight it, versus eventually the person will hang themselves. See where I'm going with this? Yeah, I could be like, here, send a cease and desist, or here, do this, but it'll cost me more versus me watching that person hang themselves and do nothing. Because what Nene Leak said, you can't win being dirty, because you can't. It's a waste of my time. And that's another thing, how you allocate your time, how you organize yourself, and what you exert your energy on. Because really, when you are tunnel vision focused, when you have business at hand to take care of, guess what happens? You don't get caught up in fuckery and bullshit because you don't have time. And that's what I don't get. I don't understand. I don't understand why people get into this. And then they will get so consumed with the chatter. It's like, what the fuck? Why are y'all over here doing all this talking? Shut the fuck up. Because to me, if you're really doing the work, you ain't got shit to say, because you're busy. You don't have time to allocate that kind of energy. And the way I think, the way Tracie thinks, and the way people who I try to align myself with think is like, the universe responds in frequency. So if I put that level of frequency out there, guess what's going to come back to me? And when it comes back to me, it comes back to me tenfold, and it's not going to come back the way that I sent it out. So it means it's going to come back like 10 times as hard. So that means it's going to affect my mind, my health, my bank account, and that flow, that energetic flow, it affects all areas. So don't think, you get caught up in that chatterbox, and then it's not coming back. So really question, like, why are you here? What work are you trying to do? Where are you trying to grow? And how do you continue to do so? How do you continue to do so? Does my business align with this? Do I align with this? Okay, then let me keep busy and not get caught up in bullshit. Okay? So in doing that, I say all of that to say, in doing that, y'all, we have to allow grace, patience, and understanding towards us. We must first extend it to ourselves. Okay. How do we extend it to because we can't do it to nobody else. You can't call yourself a healer and you can't heal thyself first. Okay. You can't call yourself a healer, but then you spewing negativity out your mouth. Am I making sense? You can't call yourself a healer and you disparaging another person's business just because. What the fuck they do to you? And even if they did, why you got to stoop to that level? Because then that makes me question your integrity. I hope this is resonating. Okay? So grace level, understanding, and patience. Why does this matter, girl? Because the stuff that you're going to face as your business begins to grow and elevate, it is going to be crazy. And if you don't have thick skin, anything will affect you. There are no emotions. You have to be able to have a poker face and be able to have a spirit of discernment, but also be able to operate in logic at the same time, all the time. And that is what we want you to do. We want you to be able to be those pillars in your community that you seek to be. I don't care if it's from a communal standpoint. I don't care if it's from a state, from a national or global impact that you choose to have. The higher your calling is, the more is going to be required of you. And if you can't handle the low level lying shit, you're not going to get there. You are not going to get there. Your impact is not going to be great. It's just not, because you can't handle the low-lying fruit. Your vibration is too high, is too low. Your thought processes are not strong enough. So there are going to be tests that come along at each stage. And if you pass the test, then you're going to move to the next level. But in moving to the next level, doors open up, opportunities come, people begin to align themselves, business grows. But there's the other side of that. So how are you moving in that? So you know what I'm saying? So the test may become harder, but it's also how are you handling it? Because I'm not like a Jay-Z. I admire the businessman that he is, but I don't know his music like that. But it's always the people closest to you who are trying to kill you. I'm just gonna leave that right there. So, and you have to be able to have a spirit of discernment. One of the beautiful things that we have is intuition. We have to learn how to tap into that. Okay. Let me see. So getting ready and having, preparedness and being in readiness. So this is something that's always and forever going to be in place. If you stay ready, you're not going to have to get ready. I know we've all heard that, but there's ways in staying ready. Okay. And my first bit of advice, and I'm going to go over all of this in the training that I have on March 5th, because we'll have a beautiful 6 hours together in a masterclass. And in that masterclass, I don't know who's on here. Spiritual Edge, can you go onto the website and find my masterclass for March 5th for me and put it in here so I can pin it, please? Staying ready so you don't have to get ready. And how do you do this is you must take care of your spiritual self first and foremost. Like every day I do the same routine when I wake up. Every day. I do the same routine when I wake up. Why? Because Tracie isn't strong enough without it. Because I will fly off the handle if I see some of the stuff that comes through the inbox. If I see some of the stuff that comes through, Tracie will fly off the handle. Because I know that about myself, I have to protect myself. I have to ground myself in the new day. I have to pace myself and allow myself an hour to an hour and a half before I actually begin to sit at my desk, which is usually between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, and get to work. And so that way I've gone through, talking to my plants and making my coffee and praying and talking to my ancestors and to the Most High. And like, I've had my water and, I've, washed my face, took my shower, brushed my teeth, put my oil on my skin. These are all things I'm doing to pour into myself before I even, because if I don't, that's not nice, Tracie. You won't, it's not a pretty picture at all. Okay. So because I know that, I have the same system that I do every morning. It don't even matter if I'm working or not. I get up and I do the same thing because it's routine for me. And entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs have a routine. They wake up at a certain time. They do the same routine every day before they get to work because they have to be in the right mindset. And most people don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the work. So in staying ready and staying prepared, these are the things that you have to do. And then, you guys, don't think when I'm done getting up from this desk or when I'm done and I then start, thank you. Hold on, y'all. I then start to educate myself in the other things that I have going on. I make sure that I'm tapping into those emails and responding. I'm making sure that if there's anything that I'm missing, I'm checking all my personal stuff. I'm cross-referencing. I'm always pouring into me. Always. So when you guys come to us, right, stay ready. So when people come through the NBDA and then I hear my mentors and I hear the instructors and they get frustrated, it's because we don't have the capacity. Nobody has the capacity to always spoon feed people. And how dare you come to somebody and expect that from them? Think about that. Imagine if you had grown ass kids wanting you to spoon feed them. That don't feel good, does it? Just the pure visual, and it doesn't even make sense. So this is what I'm saying. It's about staying ready so you don't have to get ready. How do you stay ready? What are you pouring into you? What are you pouring into self? Okay. So when we go through the training on March 5th, it's actually a masterclass. It's not a training. But when we go through the masterclass on March 5th, I'm going to walk. You guys will actually, people who are registered I'm going to be talking to you the week of the training because you guys are going to have my homework. This is what I want before you show up. This is what I'm expecting. Because my goal is to give you guys actual tangible tools and techniques that are applicable to your everyday life, no matter what level of business you're in or at, to where you can apply it and grow. Okay, there's one question and a question. Thank you. One question and a question box. How do you sign up to become a member and receive it? You don't have, that's a really good question. You don't have to be a member to train with us. Anybody can take our trainings. And the training for this particular masterclass, it is in the link that's pinned right there. But if you are interested in becoming a member, you can go to blackdoulas.org and, everything will just lead you from there. Okay. But you don't have to be a member to train with us. Let me see, making sure that I get everything before I let you guys go. Turning anger into energy of change. We have to stop fueling fruitless anger. You're welcome, honey. We have to stop having fruitless anger that energy isn't useful if it's not channeled the right way. Okay? How are you if you're not feeling good about something, if you are angry about something, if you are pissed off about the systems that are in place in Western medicine and how blah, 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 blah. If you are, there's tons of reasons why to be angry if you're Black in this country. Pick one, you know. But how do we then there take that, right? How do we then there take that and then channel it the right way to make change? How do we do that? How do we do that? And you're going to have to stay the course. Thank you so much, Spiritual Edge. You're going to have to stay the course. When it don't feel good, you'll have to stay the course. Because there's a difference between a calling and a passion. Passion is like, oh, I'm going to play with this candle. I'm going to make some candles. And oh shit, when it get hard, I don't feel like doing it no more. A calling is when the shit is hard, you still get up and go. When it don't feel good, you're still doing and moving. Because it's bigger and greater than you. When I created the NBDA, it was bigger and greater than me. It's still not about me. It never has been and it never will be. Ever. The NBDA will never be about me. Ever. Because it's about y'all. And it's about everybody else that look like me. Or any BIPOC birthing person. I don't give a shit if you gay, straight, trans. I don't care. I don't care. But if you are a BIPOC birthing person or a BIPOC person, I just think people who want to have a family that look like me deserve to have a family. And they deserve to be alive on the other side. That's it. And that's so general, meaning like there should not be any obstacles put in place that are against us just because you don't like the skin that I'm wrapped in. So that's why it will never be about me. The NBDA is not about me. So but you still have to work. People come to the NBDA and they're like, well, I'm a member, but nobody's clicking on my profile. You still got to do that. That's your business, your individual business. You still have to work your business. And that is where we're seeing the gap, you guys. So I want to get in here and I want to begin to shift mindsets, but at the same time, give you guys actual tangible tools and techniques. You guys, you know how many, I think I have 4 corporations. This is not my only business. But in everything that I do it for the greater good of me and mine and everyone else. It's like, how is this? I begin to ask, how is this that I'm creating going to be of benefit to somebody else? How is this going to have a positive impact and help somebody? Because honestly, y'all, that's where the real bag is. Like, for real. When you really start helping other people and putting systems in place to help other people, that's the win. That's the win. How can you help somebody else, like, be stronger in their business so they can grow? What? How can you, like, give them actual tools to help them succeed? That's the bag. Folks be caught up in the wrong shit to me. So that's how I think, like, how is this going to help somebody else? And I've been very fortunate, and we've been very fortunate enough to where the NBDA has a global impact, and we've had such notoriety in such a short amount of time, but it hasn't come without a cost either. And that's what I want to get you guys prepared for, is whatever your calling is. Let me help you begin to shift that mindset, become mentally ready and prepared for thicken up them layers of skin, y'all. And how do we do this? Because I want you here for the long haul. I want you here for longevity. I want you to have, if that is your calling, because I have no idea what the ancestors and the Most High has called you to do. I don't know. But in doing so, let's have a talk. So that way, when you guys come through a training with the NBDA, not only are you getting like the training itself and the training, verification, certification, and going through those steps. But then when you move to the mentorship and they help put the business infrastructures in place, because when I get the business implementation is a whole different thing. The actual tangible steps to actually put a business in place, that's a whole system. You're going to be like, what the fuck, Tracie, are you saying? You like speaking a whole nother language. Right. You're right. And I want you to understand it. And I want you to be able to apply it. And I want it to challenge you. And I want it to test you. And I want you to unlearn everything that your mama and them taught you, or how your family and them move, or how Pookie and them roll. So that way you can be the example and be the change maker and be the, what we call it, the curse breaker, all of that stuff. I'm the big mama in my family with my mama and my aunt still alive. And I don't want to be, but I can't. That's my calling. My honey tells me all the time. She's like, honey, regardless of what it is that you want, you are the matriarch of the family. But my mama's still here. I don't want to be. Tracie doesn't want that calling, but it's been placed on me. Okay, how do I accept it and level up? But then I have to see why. I see why. But it didn't come without a cost. So what I do is I then take, everything that I know, and then I begin to teach it and tell it. I believe information is meant to be shared. I'm not going to hold on to shit. I don't know what the fuck is that going to do? I can't help nobody if I hold on to information. The fuck? That's dumb as shit. I don't understand when people do that. Well, I don't want you to win because no, because what's meant to be mine will be mine. What's meant to be yours will be yours. And that's the difference with real winners, is that we share information. We don't hold on to shit. It doesn't do you any good. It does me good to see you win. I love it. Because I understand the journey, I understand how hard it is, and I understand the obstacles. And it's like, wow, you actually took the stuff that was shared and you grew. So for the people who take the masterclass on the 5th, I'm going to walk you guys through like the other businesses that I have and the different levels that they are in and why I put those businesses in place. We'll talk about the NBDA. We'll talk about everything that I do. And we'll begin to talk about like the systems and the processes of business infrastructure, of course, because that's just what I do. But I'm going to share you like my shit. And the reason why I do that is because I put things in place so I can help people. And guess who benefits from it? Yeah, my family were a direct benefit of it. But it's a domino effect. It's a global effect. So thank y'all for being on here. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about the link is in the bio. The link is pinned at the bottom. Oh, are there any other dates for future masterclasses? Not at this time. Are there any questions before I get off? Any questions that I can answer before I get off? What else? Will there be a replay of them? If you sign up for the master, there will be a replay, but it's not, I'm going to put it in a place, but it'll be as if you're signing up for the class. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Hi, Angel. I saw you jump on here. Angel is one of our doulas of the NBDA who went through. You're welcome. That went through. Come on, Angel, help me with Walmart. Our partnership with Walmart. You were actually the first. You were the first, because I know there's been a couple of others behind you, and I'm just glad that First of all, thank you, Angel, for being the first. And then that we've been able to partner with one of the major Fortune 500 companies in the world. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just want there's a way to do this, and I don't want you guys to get discouraged. The number one question that doulas always ask is, how do I get clients? Oh, Angel, you're welcome. Thank you, girl, for walking through that door, child. um you're welcome. What the hell? What did I just say, y'all? See, I told you to help me focus. I can see I forgot that quick. I think we have another question. Hold on, y'all. Do you have midwife training too? No, we don't. We don't offer midwifery training. This is a doula training. And the best way, honestly, let me tell you that if you are interested in becoming a midwife, when I became a midwife, which was initially my goal back in the day, and I did accomplish that. I didn't stay over there, but is become a doula first, because midwives who are looking for apprentices love the fact that you have birth experience. So being a doula is a great way to get into the field and gain birth experience and then transition into midwifery. So that way, when you start searching for like a proctor or a midwife who's looking for an apprentice, they will ask you that. It's like, where are you starting at? What information, what education do you have? How long have you been in it? Or are you a novice and I got to teach you from scratch? Okay. All right, you guys. So I'm going to jump off, but thank you so much for joining again. My name is Tracie, and I thank you guys for being here. And I hope that you guys have a good day. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next week or if I'll be on here, but I'm going to try to kind of keep the series and the pinpoint go on Monday mornings, so that way we continue to have a conversation, so that way you guys can help. We can grow. You're welcome, honey. Yeah. So what we want to do, I know that's the number one. Thank you, the clients question. You were talking about getting clients. Right. That's the number one question that doulas have, is how do I get clients? And the number one question that doulas have is, how do I get clients? So there's two answers to that. One is, you have to be consistent. Just because you've taken a training, it doesn't mean that clients are going to automatically fall in your lap. Number one, because they're not. They're not. I always believe old school networking never goes out of style. Never. Like old school networking, even though we're conditioned to like now look at our phones, it never goes out of style. So you have to network. You have to put yourself out there. It's going to feel uncomfortable. I am saving this live. It's going to feel uncomfortable. So get used to being uncomfortable. Get used to it. And that's another thing that will, part of going into business for yourself or being in business, is that you're going to be in uncomfortable positions all the time. But that's how you grow and how you get better and how character is developed and built. Then I also believe that in putting yourself out there and networking and finding out who's doing what, I don't even care if they look like you or they don't, but if they are busy in the birth world, busy, then, see if they're looking for a backup doula. Offer that, offer to take them out to for coffee, get to know them, put yourself out there. But you have to do your due diligence. You have to vet properly, because they're going to vet you too. And then if you get called to do backup services for a doula, then guess what? You better be the best damn doula them doctors, nurses, midwives have ever freaking seen. And guess what begins to happen? They're going to say, can I have your information? Oh my God, you were amazing. And now you got doctors and nurses and midwives on your side. Okay. Also, reviews. Have your clients or people that you work with before, people that you've aligned yourself with before, write reviews for you, testimonials. Have them do that. because those testimonials and reviews are going to keep you paid, number one, and it'll keep you sought after, and they speak before you. They speak before you. So when people come to you, they're going to be like, oh my God, I read your reviews on Google. I read your reviews on Yelp, or I read your reviews here. When I stopped working directly with clients, I think it was like even like 2-3 years or so, people were still trying to, I was like, how can I take these? I was trying to take reviews down because people were still trying to get in touch with me. I was like, I'm retired. I don't work with clients anymore. So put yourself, and you guys are going to have to do this simultaneously. It's not one thing over the other, and it's not going to be one thing that's going to help you do something over, that's going to help you win. No, it's not. It's not. It's going to be consistency in all. Okay. And then it was one other thing. For people who don't want to build a business, who just want to do the work, then maybe you want to look into agencies. That's if you are okay with your money being split. There are some people who, I don't want to build a business. I don't want to do the marketing, and I don't want to do this, but I just want to do the work, and I'm okay with my money being split, 60-40, 50-50. If that is you, or if you want to get in and get the experience for just a year and then begin to like branch out on your own, because it's the agency's job to bring in the client, to contract the client, and then send the doula out. And if that's another good way. So there's ways, but it's going to require work. No one is going to, again, you're not going to get clients strictly because you finished the training and now you're a doula. People don't care. So, because doulas come a dime a dozen now. So what separates you from the grade? Why should I pay you? Why are you going to be the one for me? What experience do you have? They're going to be asking and looking at all of that. So if you've helped your cousin and them, you get on their asses. If you helped them for free back in the day, you say, you know what, now I'm going into business. I need you guys to write a review for me because it'll really help me launch my brand or my company. That's how. And I will create a profile and you send them the direct link. You say, you know what, it doesn't have to be long, but I need this support. All right, y'all. Yeah, I've actually toyed with opening a national agency for the NBDA, but I just don't want to do the work. That's the number one thing that stops me. It's like, I don't want to do the work. Yeah, I've thought about it. And yeah, because it will require a whole different arm. It requires a lot. All right, y'all. So I'm going to jump off. Childbirth Educator course. Yes, we do have that coming this year. It's just stay tuned. That's all I can say. Just stay tuned. Very good tips. You're welcome. So those are the things that you guys will get in the masterclass. It's like, okay, how do we begin to put actual systems in place to be successful? Like for real. Yeah. Can we get listed with TRICARE? We are working on that. We are working on getting listed with TRICARE. Ashley is looking further into that so we can be on their list. Yeah, we just talked about that last week. So hopefully that will happen soon. And, everything takes time. It's coming. All right, y'all. So once again, my name is Tracie. Is that Charity? Hey, Charity. It takes time, y'all. It just does. I wish things move faster or on the website now. What does that say? Oh, good start. Oh, we can't. I'm glad you're getting some transparency and willingness to pour into others. Be blessed. You're welcome. You're welcome. What the fuck? I'm going to tell you. If I fucked up, I'm going to let you know. Oops, don't do that. This is what I did in my experience. So you don't have the same experience because I want y'all to win. All right. Let me let you go. We're glad you found us too, darling. My name is Tracie. I'm the CEO and the founder of the NBDA. Thank you for being a part of our family. And hopefully I'll see y'all next Monday. It depends on how I feel. I got to think of what to talk about. All right. And if you need more information, you can always reach out to us through our website, blackdoulas.org. All right. See y'all later. Bye.